And let's start Facebook. There we go. All right. And come on. There we go. All right. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever in the world you may be. This is Roland KC6JPG for the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net. The Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net is a series of repeaters making it possible for you, our amateur television and YouTube superstars and Facebook superstars too, to make video communications with one another within our network coverage area. You can watch us globally, of course, on YouTube on our channel, and that's youtube.com/amateur television network. And of course, for those that are watching me on RF, I'm so sorry because I'm looking like max headroom right now. This is bad. We got RF interference all over the place. It's just not good, but the recordings are great. And the online community is really great. I love it. All right, youtube.com/amateur television network. We're live on Facebook. It's been a terrific go because we're at 823 subscribers, and this is great. And of course, everything happened when we're on Facebook. We gained 5 new subscribers just in the last week. So this is terrific. Facebook.com/amateur television network. Of course, DMR radio. You can always communicate with us on the audio side. There's our Whereby channel. How's that? Well, this is whereby.com/ATN1. You can join in with amateur television without getting any RF equipment. And of course, we have a terrific group. And that's right. We got a wonderful, great group today. So you got even Chris is like watching in, and there's the smiles too. Perfect. I love it. All right. And of course, DMR radio, you got it. You know it. And of course, that is on 3196 on the Brandmeister Network, 224 on TGIF. You can communicate. If one doesn't work, the other will. The other one doesn't work, the other will. You got it. So 3196, that's our main channel, and 224 is used for tactical. You got it. And of course, for more information regarding the Amateur Television Network, you can always go to our website, www.atn-tv.com, and you'll get yourself some great information that way. This portion of this net is a directed net. Transmissions may be made after acknowledgement by net control, and a clear frequency is always appreciated. All right, we're going to get things started right away, and we're going to go right to the president of the Amateur Television Network, and I'm hoping that he's able to hear me. Tom, WB6, HYH. Tom, I hope you're out here, my friend. How you doing tonight? All right, no Tom, so we're going to go right over to Mike, WA6 SVT. Mike, good evening, my friend.
Yeah, I just got the dinner call. What timing? Anyway, hello to everybody. Gary is over here today, and we were playing brake mechanics. So
working great.
Yeah. Anyway, not much else going on here. Back to net, WA6 SVT.
WA6SVT, KC6JPG. Oh, very good, Mike. Thank you very much for chiming in, and enjoy the dinner, my friend. And hey, thanks for helping out Gary and getting his brakes done on his truck. So that's great stuff. Thank you, my friend. Excellent. All right. Other news and bulletins. Well, of course, I should get my calendar out. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pass it over to Gary, W6KVC. And Gary, why don't you go ahead and explain to us about the upcoming Hamcation here in Southern California. Gary, taking over to you, KC6JPG.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody, W6KVC. Hopefully I'm not cut out too much on RF through Roland's site right now. Anyway, Hamcation is a week from this Friday in Big Bear at the Holiday Inn hotel there in downtown Big Bear, Lake City. Anyway, it'll be a mini Hamcation this year, but maybe bigger next year. But there's already a lot of tech talk seminars and a few vendors. I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of vendors because it's brand new this year. But we'll see if we can make a go of it. It'll be been quite a while since we had anything in Southern California. So the lady that's putting it together, she's the coordinator and retired school teacher, but and a avid ham, and also BEC does ham testing and all that. So got to hand it to Dee Dee Herman of stepping up to the plate and putting this thing together. And I'm praying it'll work for her, and we need to support her. But it is Big Bear, and next Friday at noon, I'm going to be up there with my my ham shack and my trailer and my step IR and all that. Mike will be bringing the ATV truck up, and they're cording off a spot right in the front door of the hotel there for our equipment for show and tell. So anyway, there'll be a lot of tech talks on Podasoda, getting acquainted with ham radio, various different ones. Gary Johnson will be putting on his thing. Gordon West will be there. So we make this thing work. And I think there's a few vendors are going to show up, and pamphlets to hand out and all that. So maybe next year we'll get HRO, ICOM, and a few of the others if we get a lot of response this year. So mini hamcation, Big Bear Lake, up in the beautiful mountains of the San Bernardino Mountains. And if so, that's where our ham fest will be from now on, is in the mountains of Big Bear Lake. And they got nice accommodations up there. Ski season's over with as this weekend, so hotel will gladly accommodate us ham radio operators, and I think it's going to be kind of neat. It's going to be fun. So back to you, Roland, W6KVC.
W6KVC, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Garrett. Thank you very much for chiming in on that. And I think that's going to be an excellent hamcation. Wow. I remember those hamcations we had at Riverside. We had one at the Queen Mary, and that was years ago. And I'm just so glad we're going to have like a ham radio get together once again in Southern California. So definitely we're going to be supporting Dee and all of her efforts, and hoping by next year that we're going to get her lots of sponsors. So that will be terrific. Thank you very, very much, Gare, for all that. Very good. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll begin with check-ins. And we're going to go ahead and start with RF. And I'm crossing my fingers because I know that I'm breaking up. Hopefully you'll be able to make out the max headroom that stuff out there. So we're going to start with Mel Wilson. How about Ron, KD6, NIZ, KC6JPG. Ron, you out there tonight? KD6NIZ, KC6JPG. Unfortunately, 90% of that was all frozen up. So why don't you go ahead and grow your screen? I'll put you back on the back end here. So we're going to go right back to you, Ron. KD6NIZ, KC6JPG. Ron, how you doing, my friend? Hi, Ron. You're on the air.
Mute himself.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he's aware. KD6, NIZ, KC6, JPG. Ron on whereby. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody.
Check in here. Are you asking me to check in over here?
Well, I can hear you now.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if you wanted me to check in over here now or wait till later when you do the
Somebody's feeding back. Turn your microphone off.
Okay, we're really feeding back, aren't we? Holy smokes. Wow. This is the reason why we turn down our TVs. The old adage of talk radio. That's probably why Ron didn't hear us, because he had his TV audio down. So anyway, Ron, I'm going to try it back to you. KC6JPG.
Okay, you hear me now? Let's see.
Uh-oh, starting again. So I better stop. Start while I'm ahead. Okay, Ron.
I had the sound on the other on the HF rig, so we were getting feedback through the whole thing. But I'm here now, and not much to add or new, or just we've had some really nice weather the last couple of days, which is good. And so nothing really going on, just quiet. My wife's cousin is here for a week. He just flew in today from Chicago. And so that's it here. It's KD6NIZ.
KD6NIZ, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Ron. I hope you have a great time with the relatives. That's great. And have a great time. So thank you very much for checking in. And sorry about the audio situation. But you got that rectified. So that's terrific. All right. Anyone else on Mount Wilson that'd like to check in? Come in at this time. KC6JPG, net control. Okay, we're going to try Snow Peak this time. We're going to try RF. And I'm not sure if the link is on, but I'm going to go ahead and open it up. So anyone on Snow Peak that'd like to try to check in, come in at this time. KC6JPG, net control. Okay, I did turn on the link for Snow Peak, so just in case, we're going to try one more time. Snow Peak check-in.
So they're going to get all the new construction done, whole brand new roof, wood and all. The only thing, they're taking it down to trusses, and insulation will be left. And then of course I'm getting getting the swamp cooler taken out, the wall heater taken out, and getting central air put in. So they're going to have to do all the ducting to each room and all that stuff. So perfect time to do it when getting new roof and everything's stripped. So attic's wide open. So yeah, so it'll be, I guess, probably sometime in June before I'll get an antenna back up and point at the Snow Peak. But in the meantime, we're here for the backup. And sounds like Snow Peak's having problems still anyhow. So maybe that'll be fixed between now and then. But other than that, having good, man, God, the weather's just been gorgeous. The wind's finally gone, and the next few days it even says it's going to be even hotter. We've been in the upper 70s. It's supposed to get like 85 for a couple of days, and then back down to the low 70s for a while. So summer's trying to sneak its way in, so no problem there. I like the summer. That's why I live out here. So other than that, back to everybody else. Everybody's looking great out there. And Manuel, we had a good talking to you yesterday. Chris loved talking to you too. he was monitoring a lot over here in Yucca. And I tried to get him to come on tonight, but he said he might be busy. He says if he comes in, it'll only be for a few minutes just to see. So, Roland, if you do see Chris pop in here, you might want to just take his check-in real quick, instead of waiting until like to the end, because otherwise he's just going to come in and then he'll disappear. He's that way. But yeah, he's a very busy guy. Right now he's building a two-car garage with a workshop and a ham radio room in it. He's finally got the property last few years. He's got a nice big, earth movers over there just redoing his property, and now there's started the construction on that. So yeah, he's got a lot of things going on besides working every day. So yeah, he works Bureau of Land Management, repeaters and stuff like that, everywhere in the whole state, in Arizona, New Mexico even. So he travels a lot too. Anyhow, everybody have a great time, and I'm glad to see you all out there. So N6GKB in the high desert of Yucca Valley, Mojave Desert. We're clear.
N6GKB, KC6JPG, Keith. That is awesome, my friend. Well, that's terrific. Enjoy those grandkids while you can, because I got my little grandson over here too, and he is just starting to grow, and he's starting to, I'll tell you, the cuteness is just wow. It's going to be great.
Don't blink or they'll be gone.
You're exactly right, my friend. Don't blink.
They're 8 to 10 years old, and you're like, what happened to the baby?
Exactly. So I'm going to take every moment. So as soon as he supports his head, he's on a bike ride with me.
With my own kids, they were babies, and then all of a sudden, before I knew it, they're in school. Before I knew it, they're dating. And before I knew it, they're having their own kids, and now I have grandkids.
Exactly.
And now the grandkids are doing the same thing. My oldest one, the grandkids, is he just turned 10 this last weekend. 10.
Exactly. And it didn't seem that long ago when my kids were, in not only high school, but Little League, and we're doing the whole Little League thing. And then we're doing travel ball. And then when they're in high school.
Blink. Your own kids or even your grandkids.
Exactly.
Blink.
Grandkids get worse.
So many of my friends.
In regards to the time, because as you all know,
yeah,
once you're over the hill, you pick up speed.
Yeah.
That's the old cycling adage.
I got a young couple over here. I knew their kids since they were born. 4 little girls, blondies, like you wouldn't believe. I told them to buy a Sherman tank and put it in his front yard. 4 gorgeous little blondes. And I said, dude, before you know it, don't blink. And this is, 10, 12 years ago. And now, of course, that's when they were all 3 or 4. Now they're all 13, 15, and one's graduating high school this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn around, they're going to graduate college. So you got it.
He looked at me and went, I got the oldest ones graduating this year. I said, I told you not to blink. Oh, well.
Exactly.
My great grandson is 6 years old already. My oldest great grandson is 13.
Exactly, Gare. I'll tell you, like I said, enjoy the ride. Okay, well, Keith, thank you very much for checking in, my friend. That was awesome. Terrific. All right. Okay. Well, we know that I tried to turn off Snow Peak because it was starting to do its thing. So very good. So we're going to go ahead and move on to Oat Mountain this time. And let's check in Alan, W6IST in Porter Ranch. Alan, good evening.
Wow. Interference on the signal. Anyway, good evening, guys. I don't know if you copied me or not. I tried to check in last week and couldn't make it. I don't know if the link's on tonight, so I'll turn it back to you, Roland. But the signal coming back here is interference on it, so I hope you're copying me. Back to net. Oh, better. Nice signal now. Back to you, net control. This is W6IST.
W6IST, KC6JPG, you're just having the same trouble as I am, except that you're got those herringbone lines on your side, and I get the digital artifact of freeze-ups. So this is getting yikes. But I got you checked in, my friend. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I like that Ethernet cord too, Keith. That's pretty cool. That may be our next net. Ether. No, RF number 1. All right, let's check in, Bob. W6KGE on the west side of Simi Valley. I'm going to try that one more time because I think my audio cut out. Let's check in Bob, W6KGE, Simi Valley. Uh-oh, it's either that Bob's got cut out on that that RF interference or, he got the dinner call. So anyone else on Oak Mountain, I'd like to check in. Come in at this time. KC6JPG, net control. Well, I did see someone try to get in. We're going to go ahead and go to Santiago Peak this time. And I'm frozen up again. There we go. Okay, we're going to try Santiago Peak this time. WB6 NOA, Costa Mesa.
Wow. My picture really went to pieces. Very good evening to you, Roland, and to all of the Amateur Television Network. Gordo and the gang, let me just see if moving the beam would help. Well, maybe a little bit, but not much. All is well here. I checked in by mistake an hour early. There we go. And thanks, Roland, for putting up with that. And we just, again, look forward to seeing all of you in about 2 weeks, or less than 2 weeks, up at Big Bear, where we're going to have a great showing of Amateur Television Network and all the great gadgets we have. So no further traffic, and pretty soon I'll turn on the amplifier and get it tied into my PC analog rig, and then we'll have a little better signal. So have a great week ahead all, and Gordo and the gang, WB6 November Oscar Alpha, 73.
WB6 NOA KC6JPG. Gordon, thank you so much. Yes, we're definitely looking forward to Big Bear. It's going to be a terrific outpouring. It's going to be great. Southern California Ham Radio is going to be just so happy. Thanks to you and Gary and everyone else that's involved, and especially Dee. She is just like what Gary said. She is just so dedicated and just want to make this work, and it's going to work. It's going to be a terrific venue, terrific location. I love Big Bear, and you couldn't pick a better place to have a hamcation. So, Gordo, thank you very, very much for the opportunities, and thank you very much for all that you do. Great job. All right, continuing on, we're going to Riverside, and that's where Norm is at, KD6OMV. Norm?
Good evening. This is Norm, KD6OMV, over here in Riverside. Weather's really nice this week. We've been very lucky that we didn't have any Santiago equipment malfunctions. But anyway, nothing really new to report from over here. Just hope the weather holds and we continue to have the nice warm weather. It's been in the mid to upper 70s most of the time, and just enjoying it. So anyhow, I'd like to say hi to everybody out there, and I guess I'll turn it back to Roland, and we'll see you guys out here again next week. KD6OMV in Riverside.
KD6OMV, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Norm. Whoop, there I go again. I'm frozen again. There I go. I'm loose again. KD6OMV, KC6JPG. Well, your signal on 2.4 is terrific, so that's wonderful, and I think that's probably where I need to go, 2.4 FM. Oh, very good, Norm. Thank you so much for checking in. Appreciate you, buddy. And yeah, so far it's been beautiful. Things are holding at the hill, but we will need to get another trip up there to fine tune the video portion. We're getting a little sync buzz and a little bit of artifacts happening. So you got it. So thank you very much, Norm. Appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and check in Gary over in Running Springs, W6KVC. Gare, I'm going to cross my fingers and we're going to try RF. So let's try it. So, okay, we're going to go right to you, my friend. So let's go on to Plan B, and we will do it that way. So W6KVC, KC6JPG. Gary, right back to you. Thanks for checking in with us.
Yeah, I didn't bring the antenna coax in here and hook it up to my amplifier, so maybe next time. I need to get my big 13-element Yagis out of my tree and hook it up to 7/8, put it up on the roof of my house and whatever. Those got 2 good antennas up there, but climbing up there 80 feet in the air, I don't think this old guy's going to do it. So anyway, maybe some of these days it'll happen. That way then I can really put the ERP, with low loss coax and high gain antennas, and then we'll compete with our interference a little bit, I hope. All right, well, nothing else going on. So right now the interference seems to be less and less and more or less freeze up. So maybe whoever's yakking, talking or whatever on the input to our 70 centimeter will go away and quit checking in or whatever. So there's something there close by taking us out and buzzing us up. We need to find out who they are and what they are and see if we can negotiate them going away. Okay, back to you, W6KVC.
Roland Keith has his hand up.
Hey, Roland, back to you.
All right, W6KVC, KC6JPG. We were all frozen up on the repeater there for a moment. Oh, very good. Well, I saw that Keith raised his hand up. I'm going to go right to him right now. So N6GKB, KC6JPG. Keith, go ahead.
Quick question. Have you been trying to call my brother tonight?
Yes, I try to call him once. And usually he leads the net.
Okay, just to let you know, last week and today, I talked to him yesterday. He's out of town with his buddy from Fresno and his wife, and they're out doing things busy. So he said he won't be on tonight, so you don't have to try calling him anymore. So he said maybe next week, hopefully. We'll see.
All right, that sounds good. What I may have to do is we'll have to do a little video recording. We'll bring him on the net on record, on capture.
Phone works too,
Yeah, that's right. Phone, whereby he can go whereby anywhere. Exactly. I love it. Oh, very good. Thank you, Keith, for that. And Tom, if you're watching this on replay on YouTube, record yourself on your phone and send it to me. We'll definitely post it up for you. You got it.
He'll be right back.
Sounds good. All right. Must be the sign. Very good. All right. Anyone else on this? Oh, no, we got, let's go to Rancho Cucamonga. And Gary, I got my fingers crossed. So AA6GJ, KC6JPG. Gary, you out there tonight?
Okay. Not doing very well. Okay. In. And good luck to everybody. One of these days we'll get this figured out. All right, back to you, Roland. Thank you. AA.
AA6 Oh, this is something else. Wow. 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 Wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Gary, I can totally relate to this, my friend. This is not good. We are just so broken up right now. It's like the Beatles. Oh, shoot. So we're going hunting. I'll tell you that right now. You know, luckily we got a 905 with waterfall, and we'll see if we can pinpoint where the signal's coming from. And just like what Gary said, see if we can negotiate something that get these guys off the air, because it's nasty on 434. All right. Well, Gary, I got you checked in, my friend. And, of course, you know, there I go with breaking up. I'm just getting like every 5 words, and then I freeze. So just like that. And so I may have to get 1,000 watts, some 7/8 in a big fat antenna. You got it, bud. You got it. You got it, Keith. All right. Anyone else on Santiago Peak that'd like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net? If you can hear my voice and you can make sense of me when I'm freezing up like this. Anyone else on Santiago Peak come in at this time? KC6JPG, net control. Oh, we got Katniss. Yeah, we do. I love it, Gordo. Now we know where the interference is coming from. Yon Pussycat. All right. We're going to Job's Peak this time. See if anyone from Job's Peak that'd like to check in, come in at this time. KC6JPG, net control. All right, we got Mike, WA6 SVT on Job's Peak itself, right at the repeater site. Mike, hello again.
Hello, everybody. I got an idea. Why don't we put a 400 watt DVB-T transmitter on 434 on Santiago, and then we'll put a separate antenna in for 427 receive. So when we get the interference, we just turn on our nice strong carrier up there, and they'll take out any of the voice repeaters or the DMR boxes or whatever they got, or digital repeater outputs. They'll just see that the S meter's pegged, and won't hear the other stations they're trying to talk to.
That sounds great. Awesome.
Back to net.
WA6SVT, KC6JPG. I'm with you, my friend. Let's do it. We have a work party, and there's all in front of you.
Region's the problem, the bandwidth, because otherwise
Who negotiated that?
See, originally it was 6.
Yeah, what happened to the 6 we had?
Really?
Because when we were analog, we didn't have much in the way of sidebands in the satellite subband, and also across the 432 weak signal area.
Well, okay,
with the
so
digital, you sure would.
Can we like renegotiate that back and we can have our own ATV circuit? Well, we can go to 2.4. That's fine. But oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Means shift it down. So we got to avoid the weak signal stuff. So go from, instead of 433, go down, have the band edge start at 431 and then go 6 megahertz down. That's 425, right? So
Yeah, we have
425, 431.
We could run a center carrier 427 with up as much as 3 megs bandwidth down there and stay out of the link channels.
It's still a compromise. Everything you've suggested is still not 6. It's like,
I know if we could get them to move more link stuff and just give up 434 and get a 6 meg channel at 427, I'd do it.
yeah. So if you made center 428, then that's making the optimization to move the upper end to 431.
Well, you
That's
got
why
repeater outputs 430 to 431 now, so we'd have to stay below 430.
you guys are all messed up over in there in California.
Hey, it's California. What can I say?
The fact is that you've got land mobile radio on 440 to 450 out of Mexico now, and it's a commercial band. It is not amateur. So
That's Mexico.
all of anybody near the borders had to move to these new repeater pairs. So that's just a way of life.
See, that's the problem. It's the word amateur. That's the problem.
Yeah, so you can kiss your TV spectrum goodbye. It's gone. I mean, you guys are not strong enough to compete against Mexico and all these other repeat.
Well, that's because it requires money, and that's something we don't have.
No, it's because they don't give a shit about TV.
Well, that's about it. That's it. It's money talks and everything else walks.
They
Mexico
don't
rates
care
over
about
us.
TV. That's all.
Mexico rates over us. Come on.
Exactly. See. I got this thing here that I have to represent. You know, I got to represent my neighborhood. I want, CERT. You got to put the mask on. Got to put the helmet on. I mean, hey, we're ready.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Mr. Where I represent my neighborhood.
All right. Well, we're going to carry this on at Whereby Roundtable later on. That's what we're going to do. Exactly. All right. Okay, last chance for anyone on RF to like to check in before we go to our online community to check in. Anyone on RF that like to check in with the Amateur Television Networks, the Weekly Net, come in at this time. KC6JPG, Net Control. All right, we're going into our chapter stations from around the world. We're going to go to Massachusetts. That's where Stephen is at, KC1LPZ. Stephen, how you liking this show tonight?
Yeah, it's a unique one. We had a marathon yesterday, and 5 of our repeaters were working fine. Waltham had their repeater working. Framingham had their repeater working. Let's see, Wellesley, and that's in addition to the MMRA's 5 other repeaters that were slated for that. I was monitoring a lot of that, and it was great weather, sunny, in the 60s. It did get up to the low 70s, 71, 72. So that might have been a little tough for some of the runners, because there were some runners that were in dire shape. But everything was all coordinated, and a lot of volunteers. And everything worked, which is nice. I mean, 11 years ago, it was absolute craziness because of the bombing. So it was nice. I mean, they know where every runner is, because they're all there, and every station they keep tabs on everyone there. So the security there is really excellent. So it was a joy to listen to that, all that. What else? Oh, yeah, we discussed that at the MMRA net tonight, and we talked about volunteering and stuff like that. I mean, in this group here, I can already tell it's like preaching to the choir, because so many of us here volunteer. It's just routine. Well, there were people on the net that said, well, I don't volunteer. I just, never got around to it or whatever. And I was explaining that volunteering is a time when you actually form relationships, working relationships, social relationships with the other people, other colleagues. So that was my rant. That's about it. KC1 LPZ, back over to the net.
KC1LPZ, KC6JPG. Well, Stephen, congratulations on a successful race for the Boston Marathon. So, of course, that is a huge tradition. Me as an athlete myself, I mean, that is one of the most highly respected marathons because you have to be invited. And I just can't believe it was 11 years ago when all that mayhem was happening. And hands to you guys, hands to the amateur radio operators. Everyone that's with law enforcement, fire protection, and emergency and EMCOM. Everybody who coordinated all that. And you're right, all of the runners and the athletes are all chipped, so you can see their emotions. You can see where their whereabouts are at. So the technology that we have today is terrific. So we can keep an eye on every runner and every athlete out there on the race course to protect them as well. So, Stephen, thank you so much for a great job and a great effort for protecting everyone during the Boston Marathon race. Terrific job. All right, we're going to New York, and that's where our buddy Manuel is at, the angel of the Amateur Television Network, N2MJF. Manny, it's great to see you tonight, my friend.
How everybody doing? We're getting nice weather here, too. 2 days in the 70s. I wore shorts and a polo shirt to work because I could do that at my job. I don't have to wear no stupid, dumb, old-fashioned schoolgirl dress suit like everybody else does here in the offices. Other than that, yeah, Keith, we were having fun yesterday on Webeye. I was using my Open Spot 4. So that's the best way to do it in New York City. You got to cheat a lot of time. I use technology. But other than that, now we're starting to get the tourists. I get to intimidate them. I sit in the train like this, rock back and forth, look like insanity. I go like, and I get a seat. I give it back to you, Roland.
Very good, Manny. I'll tell you, if there's any mayhem going on, I'll tell you. Stephen, if there's any possible mayhem, get Manny. He'll take good care of it for you, buddy. You got it. The big thumbs up. You got it. Manny's great to see you tonight. Great. Thank you for checking in and keeping New York safe. You got it from all the straitjackets out there. Take care, buddy. And we'll see you on the Whereby Roundtable. Very good. We're going to Florida now. You got it. I don't see John out here. Where did John? Oh, that's right. He's going to Minnesota. That's right. So now we're going to go to Florida, and we're going to check in with our net control of the Amateur Television Network's Florida chapter, and that's Wolf, KV4ATV. Wolf, it's great to see you tonight.
Hello, Roland and the net. And come to find out, you've got another subscriber out here onto the ATN. So you might check your numbers. It just went up at least one. Also, we've got the PARC, which is called the Parrot Amateur Radio Club down in just north of Miami and Coral Springs, is really getting on with their Arden mesh now. So I'm trying to help them out and keep the stuff up here running. It's just been beautiful weather and stuff. Temperatures were up into, 88 here today in Panama City. And let's see here, we had some reports coming in from Caldwell at 55, Tacoma at 52, and Libby at 41. So they still don't have the temperatures we've got going. Seems like summer is really creeping upon us. Don't have any bad weather at all in store. Possible rain, a little bit of thunderstorms maybe Sunday, but nothing to write home about, so I won't be going out storm chasing, that's for sure. I'll just sit home and watch it on the radar. Other than that, putting together some new antennas and stuff and trying to get things put up out here. We're going to expand and get several of our packet stations back up and running. So we're going to be expanding out, including running packet on the 222 megahertz spectrum to open that up for people. So we're trying to get things kind of peaked up and moving around down here. That's about it. And I do not know where our vice pres is tonight because he's been wore out trying to get his house together. So that's about it rolling right now. So I'll go ahead and turn it back to you. KV4ATV, Panama City, net control.
KV4ATV, KC6JPG. Well, Wolf, thank you very much. And hey, thank you for letting me know about the new subscribers. So it sounds like we're at 824 now. So yay, that's wonderful news. So, okay, well, that's great. So, you mean Chris? I mean, the one that's waving? That's the 824th subscriber? I love this.
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, guess what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something very, very special. We're going to go ahead and check in Chris because she's going to be our future of ham radio. And Chris, it's great to see you tonight. How you doing tonight?
Unmute your mic, Chris.
It was being a butthead.
Careful now.
We have a cold front coming through right now, so winter just does not want to let go, but that's normal for up here. I've seen it snow a good foot in Montana at this time of year.
Exactly.
Ice cold.
Yep. It's going to get warmer. I guarantee it. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine who lives in Coeur d'Alene had snow last week, so she was showing me all the snow.
Slow and coming, but it's on its way. We usually don't have last frost till about mid-May. But the farmers are out planting. Sugar beets are already being put in. And so is the summer grain crop.
There you go.
And things like that. Yeah. I live in farming country.
There you go. So is my family in Minnesota, my extended family. They live in farming country, Minnesota. So up in the northern area of Cloquet. So my father-in-law had 40 acres of hay and alfalfa. And
years old.
There you go, Chris. Well, Chris, thanks for checking in with us. Terrific. Got you a chance to get on the air. So that's wonderful. All right, we're going to Arizona. And that's where Joel is at. KD6W. And Joel, congratulations on the excavating, and looks like you're getting things all taken care of. Very good. How you doing, Joel?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the digging is done. My hands hurt real bad now, so I've got calluses on my fingers. So yeah, the water project took forever, but you know, it's there's one rule in plumbing. No leaks. So that's kind of important kind of thing. So, yeah, we're still going through and burying the line back in the, where we trenched out kind of thing. And I ran out of dirt. I took up so many rocks out of the yard kind of thing that I displaced. Well, I put a lot of sand in, but it was still not enough dirt to be able to fill in all the where I trenched out kind of thing. So I got to go down and dig up some of my yard in another part of the yard kind of thing. I'm transferring my yard now. So, hey, great, beautiful weather. Monday was absolutely beautiful. Got down to like 51 last night, but the temperatures popped back up today. We had a high of 81, currently 71 degrees here in Tucson. Just absolutely gorgeous. It's great to be outside right now. There's bunch of stars in the sky, and every once in a while you can see a satellite pass overhead. But so the Saturday microwave activity day was great. Got a chance to go up to 5,000 feet up Kit Peak. So we have to stop below the top point because there's a radio exclusion zone up at the very top kind of thing. So there is this one spot where we could pull off on the side of the road. So we were able to do that, but we were having a lot of challenges with coordination. So that was kind of we learned a lot. Let's leave it at that. So that was fun. And so my hat's off to Mel Swanberg and a bunch of other individuals back in California who have opened up Cactus for the microwave community for use during SBMS contest, as well as the 10 and up contest, which that's kind of been the tradition in the past. And because we had been very vocal about, hey, we're trying to, get the first Monday, where this was an exception this last weekend. We're trying to get the every first Saturday going again, which hasn't been that way for years. So we're trying to, resurrect that. And so we got approval for that too. So now I'm on the hook to work with all the SARBA and CARBA and all the Cactus Intertie members here in Arizona to campaign them to do the same thing. And so every time I do this, whenever I go out for microwave activity day, I take my 905 with me, and they go, "What'd you bring a camera for?" And I said, "Well, watch what happens when I do this." And I start transmitting. Of course, if there's nobody out there to watch it, but whatever, I'm still in true form. I'm pushing the television aspect of it. But the repeater, I'm working on some mechanical things because I was able to find a nice rack mount 28 volt power supply at the swap meet the previous Saturday. That's why we moved it a week. So we had the first Saturday was the Radio Society of Tucson's, they call it a ham fest, but it's a flea market with raffles at the end. But so I found a beautiful Astron rack mount Astron power supply. So really jazzed about that one. I got a great price on it. So now we have two of them. So I got a backup. And then so I'm dealing with some of the mechanicals because it's getting kind of tight in the rack. I guess you've seen in the past where I've done the rack elevation show and I'm running out of space to stick everything kind of thing, but we'll make it fit. It's one of those things where I always leave a buffer somewhere and we'll figure it out. But I hate having to shift, 9 items down one rack unit just because I didn't calculate well enough. So I'm getting to that point where I might have to do that. And just, it's a lot of work to have to take everything back out just to move there's a bunch of brackets in the back that holds up the weight in the rear because the equipment is so deep. Anyway, that's the status from here. Having a great evening here in Tucson, and we'll catch you guys later. 73s. This is Joel, KD6W in Tucson.
KD6W, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Joel. And I can totally relate about the a rack situation. I have basically, how many RUs I have? I got a 12 RU rack here. And I had to lower my mixer down 1 RU so I can have clearance for the wireless antenna, right? And so now I have 1 RU hole on the top. And I just said, okay, either I got to fill that in or just go Ethernet. Now I'm on Ethernet, and I don't need that antenna. And now I'm like, well,
Get a blank. Just put a blank in there.
There you go. Exactly. I got a blank.
You just put blanks in.
I got a blank.
So that way you can always go back to it if you need it. Yeah.
Exactly. Joel, thanks for checking in, my friend. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the round table. This is terrific. Oh, believe me, Mike, I got plenty of blanks around here. I got 1 RU, 2 RU, 4 RU, 6 RU, courtesy of you. So I thank you very much for that because it is going into good use. Oh, shoot. Well, very good. All right. Well, carrying on. We're going over back to California, and we're going to Long Beach, and we got NDAF on board with us. That's really cool. N6 UTC. NDAF, it's great to see you, my friend. And how's it going tonight? And, hey, I understand we had a little earthquake, I believe it was last Thursday or last Friday? Right to you. KC6JPG.
Hi, Roland, everybody else. I hope you can hear me because I'm not sure if this webcam really works well. Great. I didn't feel an earthquake. News to me. I guess I've become so immune living here in California the last 23 years. I don't feel them as much as I used to in the early days. I'm packing right here, right now. I'm actually heading over to England and Wales tomorrow. I'm flying out tomorrow. Got my British passport ready to go, and I got my pound notes ready to go. I'm actually going to this town of Blackpool, which is in the northwest of England, kind of like the Las Vegas of the UK. There's a radio rally there, or a hamfest, and I'm going to be joining a few friends there, manning a booth or a stand with the Wales Digital Radio Group, which is kind of a digital voice group that I kind of mess around with. And our booth is actually right next door to the BATC, the British Amateur Television Club. So I know a couple of guys from there. I've been a member of that group since at least 1998. So looking forward to that. And then when we're done in Blackpool, I will be heading over across the border into North Wales to stay with my mum and see my sister and brother and the other members of the family for about 4 or 5 days. Then I'll be back here. And in the meantime, I'm hoping, I think I'll catch one football match. When I say football, I mean the game that they don't play with their hands. And I'm looking forward to driving on the correct side of the road. Thanks, Roland. Wink, wink.
Well, thank you. And FN6UTC, KC6JPG. We'll have a great time, my friend. And yeah, that little quake was a small one. It was 2.8, centered in Signal Hill. But I happened to be at my plant in Paramount up on the second floor, and I felt something, kind of wiggled, and I'm kind of like, oh, what was that? Because it really didn't feel like anything. It just felt like, the floor settling. And because it was so light, and it was very shallow too. And sure enough, I had to do an inspection on my building, so make sure that everything's okay.
I believe my house is not far from your building. I'm just off the 91 and Atlantic.
Very good. Yeah, I'm just off of Cherry and the 91 freeway, so very good. So you're very, very close to where my factory is. So terrific, NDF. Well, have a great time in Wales, and say hello to everybody on the BATC group. And tell them thank you very much on behalf of the Amateur Television Network. We really appreciate them, providing a feed for providing a streaming feed for us, streaming our services 24/7. So that's terrific, NDF. Thank you again, and have a great time. Appreciate you, buddy. Excellent. All right, we are now going to go into the Berg. You got it. And that's where our anchor man is at, K6SOE. He is the net control of the Mount Diablo Amateur Television Group. Jim, it is great to see you tonight.
Well, good evening, Roland in the net. It's glad to be here, glad to be seen. Not too much new on the ham radio front here, just maintaining a status quo. And at some point, I need to talk to you about ATM Mini Pro attributes that I think I've got. I think I've got myself acquainted with this, but there's always something for me to learn. So anyway, I'll send it back to net, and we'll see everybody Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. K6SOE, stuck in the Berg.
K6SOE, KC6JPG. Well, very good, Jim. I think what we should do is dedicate a whereby and have like an ATEM fun party, basically, a button party. And what you're seeing on the controllers themselves with the buttons, that's only touching the tip of the iceberg. Once you get into the software, and especially the extended software that a really cool guy developed, you really can get into the nuts and bolts into the ATEM switchers. They're absolutely terrific. So you're right. So, hey, call me anytime, bud. We can definitely have a really fun time. And, of course, we can do an ATEM party on our whereby channel for a whereby roundtable. That'd be great. So everyone can get their ATEMs out, and we can go through all the full features. So great. And, of course, for those that have the Extreme, and that's Joel, well, I'll tell you, that opens up a lot of doors, because then you can do what they call super views, and you can do all kinds of bow tie effects and quads and all kinds of different things that you can do. So terrific. Thank you, Jim, for checking in. And that's right. Check out Jim on his net on Thursday evenings, 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, the W6CX Mount Diablo Amateur Radio Club's net. A lot of fun and a great, great group. All right. And that is the group that we have it. So any late members, missed members, any visitors that like to check in with the Amateur Television Network's The Weekly Net, please come in at this time. KC6JPG, Net Control. It did. My life. Okay. All right. No Newsline tonight. Don will be back next week for a new edition of Newsline. And any last minute comments or questions before we close? KC6JPG, Net Control. All right. Our roving reporter from Las Vegas has now made it into the room. You got it. And that's our buddy Dennis, KA7HQP. And Dennis, well, welcome, my friend. And how's NAB going?
Yeah, that was kind of fun. There are some vendors that didn't their no-shows, like Tektronix. I'm always I always like to see what Tektronix has to offer, but they were a no-show. A couple of vendors. One of the modulator company, the company that makes modulators, 8VSB. I was hoping to see if they were going to make ATSC3 modulators, but they were a no-show as well. I did some of the gifts that I got were these little memory sticks that the vendors give away. It's like I went from Katrine, which Katrine is a company that carries Scala antennas, and what a Scala antenna is it's a commercial off-air antenna, and we use them in our business at Cox when I was working for Cox. I used 10 element frequency cut antennas for low VHF, VHF, and UHF. And they also have what's referred to as a paraflector and analog periodics, that they're commercial units and the commercial antennas. And they're high quality. They're very robust, and I'll tell you, I got to see them, and they gave me the memory stick. Yeah, everything is fine at the NAB. I got to meet Rod there. That was a treat. Cheryl didn't get the chance to show. She wasn't feeling well, and that's understandable. But yeah, it was very nice to meet Rod. So that's about all I have to relate. It was a good show, but. So again, some vendors were missing, and I'll definitely want to. Oh, I did win a prize at the amateur radio reception, which were these. In fact, Cindy won one too. They were starting to give out the raffle. The first prize went to one of the other gentlemen at our table. The second prize went to Cindy, which was it's like a Leatherman. It's a multifunction tool, hand tool, which is a pair of pliers and built-in knives and things. And then the very next prize was me, and it was the exact same prize that Cindy got. It was the Leatherman style tool, which was kind of fun. So
Got his and hers.
Yeah, his and hers. And of course, they're branded ARRL, and I don't know if that's a plus or a minus, but nevertheless, we did win some prizes, and we picked up a bunch of T-shirts that they were giving away and stuff. So it was a good show. It was pretty much fun. Like I said, got to meet Rod. I did see Frank there, N7 ZEV, and he was there. Got to see him and his wife. But and that's about it. So I'll throw it back to you, Roland, in the group. This is K7HQP at the NAB in Las Vegas.
KA7HQP, KC6JPG. Dennis, I'm glad you're having a wonderful time, my friend. That is terrific, I'll tell you. And one of the Mosley, there you go. All right, that's wonderful.
You want
Look
a
at that.
remote controller transmitter? You call Mosley.
There you go. Exactly. Wow. So you got some great swag there, dude. Very, very good. That's the fun part about NAB. You get all kinds of wonderful swag. So pretty soon they'll give out AI switchers. And that's what I'm curious about, all the AI technology that's now becoming a big force. It's going to be very interesting. So, well, very good, Dennis. Thank you very much for checking that out, and I'm glad you're having a great time. So, cross my fingers. Next year, I gotta go. Come on, 37 years of being in broadcast, and I haven't even gone yet. So, go figure. Gotta check it out. Thanks, Dennis. Have a wonderful, wonderful time, my friend, at NAB. Excellent. All right. Anybody? Okay, back to RF. Any last-minute check-ins before we go to our Whereby Roundtable? Come in at this time. KC6 JPG, Net Control. Well, we made it through the storm, at least on the in the Ethernet side of things. It was perfect, but on the RF side of things, not so good. So we got to work on that. Anyway, this is Roland, KC6 JPG, saying thank you so much, because without you, there would not be a net, and we really appreciate each and every one of you for participating tonight. Come and join us on our Whereby Roundtable. We're going to be starting that momentarily at whereby.com/ATN1. We'd love to have you join us. So it's all hands on deck, as they say, because we will not be on the RF, and we have a really, really rootin' of a time on our Whereby Roundtable. All right, and don't forget, for more information regarding the Amateur Television Network, you can always go to our website, www.atn-tv.com, and that will give you any information regarding amateur television and its uses. You got it. I'm Roland, KC6JPG, saying thank you so much for your participation. The repeaters are now returned for their normal use, and we'll see you on Whereby. KC6JPG, clear.